Hello everyone. Hello and Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2022, which is really exciting. This is going to be like my first whole year of doing YouTube. I started in March, so it's going to be really exciting to have like a documented full year on YouTube of everything I've been up to with my plants, stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. But the intention for this video today, I wanted my first video of like 2022 of the year to be kind of like my New Year's resolutions for my plants and kind of document it so I can come back in a year's time and see if I achieved it, if it ended up flopping, or if I exceeded it. We will wait and see, come back to this next year, and fingers crossed it worked out how I wanted it to. So I've got a few New Year's resolutions, and really the main goal is to be a lot more kind of intentional with my collection now. I know a lot of people around, they end up just buying all their plants from the garden centres and stuff like that. And not really being intentional, just kind of seeing them and buying them. I know I've been like that for a really long time. And I was always very much like, oh, you know, I've got all these wish list plants and I'll keep an eye on them, see if they're like come up in like garden centres locally around me, and they never do, because they are the ones that are a little bit more expensive or a bit harder to come by. But my first resolution for my plants this year is to try and collect the plants that I have really wanted for a long time. My recent wish list video, which I think was in November last year, they're like my top three, which is Philodendron verrucosum. I want a Florida Beauty, a Thai constellation, I don't know if that's pushing it a bit too far, and also a Gloriosum, and maybe a Melanochrysum. We'll push that one in there as well. But those are the like ones that I always look at and I just think, oh my god, I really need you. And you never see them in like local plant shops. Very, very rarely. I remember I saw a verrucosum in a garden centre when I was at my friend's and I didn't get it, and I literally think about it on like a daily basis. I really regret, and it was a really good price for it, and it was a really big pot. I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I didn't. I literally went home and I thought, why did I do that? But anyway, so though that is one thing I am really wanting to do, is not just go to shops and look at plants and think, right, that's only £10, I'll get that one. Instead, I'd rather, this year I really want to, instead of buying like plants here and there because they're cheaper, I just want to save that money and then buy something that is a bit more expensive. So buy less plants, but buy ones that like I really, really want and I know I really want. So that's my number one resolution for this year. Really hope I stick to it. Number two is, and we will see how this goes, we'll see. And you'll see why I say that when I say what it is, but I don't want to get to a point where I'm really overwhelmed with my collection, and especially when it comes to winter, I do get really overwhelmed because I just don't have the motivation to do any of it. In the summer, it's fine. As longer days, I spend like 2 hours in the morning before work doing housework, doing like plant chores, and again in the evening it's light until like 9:30, 10. So I finish work and I go out in the garden and I'll be repotting. In the winter I get really overwhelmed. So my one resolution is to, when I do buy a new plant, is to almost replace one. So I'm going to bring a new plant in and I'm going to take one out. So obviously these are going to end up being the ones that I'm really not that worried about, which in a way is a benefit because they're just kind of there just to fill in a gap in your plant shelf and stuff like that. So if I'm buying another one, I am going to get rid of one that I'm not really that worried about. And I think that's one thing that's really good. If you want to keep your collection to a minimum, if you are getting overwhelmed, is to do that. Reduce your collection, or when you do buy new plants, take one out that you are happy to get rid of. Okay, number 3 is I really, really, really want to grow my plants really big and try to mature them. I started this in 2021. I started putting my plants on planks and I am seeing some maturity, but coming into the new year, I'm thinking, okay, in a few months, it's going to start getting warmer and I'm going to see more sunlight and more growth. And last year, I started this process kind of halfway or to the end of summer, so obviously I've not seen that much maturity. My plants in this house don't grow very much in winter because it is a really cold house and it's really dark. So coming into the spring, that is going to be my one goal, is to really try and mature my plants that I have and get them really big. Like my Monstera, I chopped back last summer. This summer, I want to start getting it to a point where it's really nice, full and big again. But yeah, I like a lot of people do, I love the big, beautiful leaves. So that's my goal. I'm going to try and mature some of my plants, get those really nice big leaves. I'm hoping this year there is some exciting changes coming to my life this year. So I'm hoping that will contribute. I think it'll be better for me and my plants. Not going to say what it is yet because it's not going to be in the next few months. It's going to be quite a way off. So I'm just going to wait until everything's 100% official and it's all sorted out. But I'm hoping that will contribute to my goals in 2022. I think it will help. So we will wait and see. Obviously when it happens, I'll mention it in one of my videos, and obviously you'll see it all happening, so it's exciting. And also, this is kind of not really a resolution, it's just something I want to try out for 2022. I really want to try putting some plants outside. I'm thinking maybe to start with, maybe more cacti, because obviously they can kind of endure more intensive sun and stuff like that. Luckily my house here gets sun in the morning for a few hours in the garden, but then the sun goes over the house and in the afternoon the garden's in the shade. It's really bright but it's in the shade, so I do think it'll be quite good to give that a go. Obviously I'm going to try it on my more not so loved plants, the ones that I'm not so worried if they do get damaged or burnt or eaten. But yeah, it's something that I really want to try. I have seen a few people doing it. I know last summer I was looking at Beccadella plants. Obviously she's in a completely different environment to me. She's on the other side of the world, but she put some of her indoor houseplants outside, and that was a lot of like her cacti and stuff. So I really want to try it out. And she also put some of her ficus outside. So I'm going to try that out as well. I want to see if it helps with the growth at all. I've got my huge cactus, which I would love to put outside because I think it'd be really beneficial for it. This year, it's obviously not been getting enough light in this house. This house is quite dark and the top of it is growing, but it's really thin. At the moment I'm going to leave it, and then just when it gets to summer I'm just going to chop it back because it will branch out, get rid of that really thin growth. Anyway, I'm going off on a rant. So those are my resolutions for kind of like my plants and my planty goals in 2022. I'm so glad I did this video because I feel like it's like on record, and we'll now see like the growth from this and like see how it goes. Obviously I'm going to document everything on here, so it's going to be really exciting for you guys. I would love to hear what your New Year's resolutions for your plants are, or even just for yourself if you want to share that. I'm really intrigued. I think as soon as it gets to this time of year, I think everybody has different goals for their collections or just for their lives in general. Let me know if any of yours are the same as mine and what you're actively going to be doing to sort of achieve those goals. I would love to hear and share what I'm going to be up to. It'd be really interesting to see what you guys want to achieve from your collections this year. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it kind of maybe inspired you to set yourself some goals for your collection this year. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video, comment down below what your New Year's resolutions are, and subscribe if you want to see more planted content from me. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.